All right, welcome to In the Wall with me, Park Kligerman, and on this week's edition, we have a very special guest, good friend of mine, James Hinchcliffe. Thanks for joining, bud. As is the topic, amongst everyone right now, sim racing, specifically iRacing. You have dived into it as well in the IndyCar side. I noticed Watkins Glen didn't go very well, or didn't go at all, but how was the next one at Barber?
Better, definitely a step up. I made the grid this time. Watkins was some sort of technical glitch that I don't think I ever actually figured out. But my car just sort of disappeared before the start, which sucks because you put all these hours in over the week. But hey, neither here nor there. So I switched my setup. So here's the deal. I'm like one of the few guys that doesn't have one of these things in his house, which I realized is nobody's fault but my own. So I've got to like go. So like for Watkins, I was bugging my buddy and like knocking on the door, and then him and his wife would run to one room and quarantine, and then I would go up the stairs and lock myself in their office for 4 hours. It was really bad. So I found this place downtown. It's called the Paddock in Indy, and they've got some simulators, and it's a business. It's closed. So the guy who owns it called me up. He was like, "Hey, look, I'll leave the door open. You can just kind of use it." So I'm not using that. So Barber went better. I still crashed. But, you know, I'm new to this, Parker. I'm new to this, and I'm figuring it out, and I'm getting better, so I'm seeing progress, and I'm okay with that.
You and about 95% of the motorsports world is new to this.
Right.
So there's that small percentage of us that were really into it, and all of you guys try to play a bit of catch-up. But have you enjoyed it? Has it been a cool experience doing this sim stuff?
It has. It's so funny because you get that same frustration that you get in real life. You know, like it really does sort of scratch the competitive itch in a lot of ways, but it also, whereas in real life, you're limited to a 45-minute session, and then you have to take 3 hours off, and then you get 45 minutes again, and then you take a day off. Now you can just go for like 6 straight hours. And I don't know if I like that part, because if I've got the time, I'm going to use it. And that's a lot of time to be really frustrated and angry at a sim, you know?
Dude, I'm with you. The thing about sim racing for me has always been like I get burnt out very quick in those scenarios where like you can't go faster and you know it's there, but eventually you just have to be like, I need to go to sleep, think about this, come back, and sure enough, I always go faster doing that. But all right, speaking of frustrations though, you and I are about to head into something here tomorrow on Friday that is completely out of any of our. We're heading to hell. We're going to hell, literally.
Yeah. Literally.
Hell, Norway. We're going to hell, Norway in Rallycross racing. How'd you get roped into this?
It's Pastrana's fault. So Alex Rossi and I have a podcast, Off Track with Hinch and Rossi, and we had Travis come on as a guest. And at the end of it, or like maybe it was the next day or something, he fires a text. He's like, "Hey man, we're doing this Rallycross kind of all-star race series, whatever. You guys in?" And this was still kind of early. And so, like, I hadn't had all the frustrations that I've had up to this point. And Alex and I were like, "Yeah, let's do it, man. We love all sim racing. Let's go. Let's just do it." And then we tried it for the first time, and we thought to ourselves, "Oh, man, what have we done? What have we done? This is so hard."
I know the feeling. So when it first came my way, I was like, "Yeah, I'm in. Absolutely." And then I got my buddy Ryan Truex in. So we're, like, representing NASCAR world. And we were testing Rever, and he was like, "Dude, this is so hard." And I got into it thinking, how hard can this be? Like, you know, it's just a car on a track. But you got dirt, you have jumps, you have an e-brake. Have you used the e-brake at all yet, the handbrake?
Yeah, but I've learned that, like, you're not supposed to. It's actually not faster. So it looks awesome, and it feels super cool. Not fast.
Nope. Although in the dirt, I found it to be faster because I have done a little bit of testing. I've been trying really hard because I love rally cars. Like, they're my favorite cars in the world, but I've never been able to, like, use them.
Yeah. What's the best time you've gotten down to at hell?
So a 37.1. So it's
okay.
Yeah. Now I saw last night, Truex was texting me. There was a test session and I was too tired to do it, but there was some guys in the 36s. And maybe even some guys got in the 35s.
35.9 was pole.
Yeah. Okay.
In the mock race. Yeah. So my best so far is a 37.3. So I'm in your ballpark. We're not in that ballpark yet, bud. We still got some work to do.
Except here's another thing we're learning. There's dirt involved in this, and the dirt gets faster. The track gets faster because you move the dirt out of the way. So there's no way to know where you really stack up till we get out there. And then we raced a little bit, and you just run into each other a ton and hope for the best. So it's going to be wild in that sense. The other thing is kind of cool is I was looking at the driver list. It's super diverse. Have you seen that list yet?
Yeah. It's
And
impressive.
yeah, like we have Rallycross drivers, IndyCar drivers, NASCAR drivers. Who else is in there? We got, I think, Aaron
Chad Reed.
Chad Reed, Supercross, Travis Pastrana,
Yeah.
who's freestyle motocross. I mean, this has to be the most diverse group of all the iRacing stuff.
Yeah, for sure. From what I've seen, absolutely. And I feel bad for the guys that are like actually good, and the rest of us are just going to be at the back putting on a complete show that's just so not appropriate for anything. But okay, well, we're going to have fun. And that was the other thing, is I was like, oh, it's just one race. It's like a thing. We'll figure it out. It's the whole championship that I signed up for. I thought I only had to do it once. Now we got to unlearn this track and learn another one next week. Oh, man.
I know. I saw that too. I thought we was like, oh yeah, we should do like this fun event thing, and then it was like, no, it's a whole championship, and now there's a prize for it. Speaking of the prize, it's $10,000 for charity. Any ideas yet of the charity you want to donate to if you were to win it?
Yeah, so I'm a big proponent of the Red Cross, and it comes from kind of the accident I had at Indy in 2015, and I needed a lot of blood to stay alive, and it really educated me on how important that need is. And with what's happening in the world right now with COVID-19, 80% of the blood drives that are held in this country are at U.S. college and university campuses and big businesses. None of that's happening right now. So the blood shortage, which is normally an issue, is literally as bad as it's ever been because so many drives have been shut down. So anyway, if I win, that's where the money will go, because that's probably not going to happen. I'm just going to encourage everybody to go out and donate blood. You don't need to give money. That's the best thing about the Red Cross, is everybody's worried about their pennies right now, and I get it, but everyone's got more free time than they normally have. And this doesn't cost you a thing, and it can save lives quite literally. So go on redcrossblood.org. They've got little pop-up drives happening at different places now in lieu of all the big ones being canceled. Find one near you. Go donate. There you go. That's my spiel.
Great initiative. I love it. And I like the confidence in yourself for winning this. Hey, just real quick, one of the coolest things about this time is through this tough time, has been kind of seeing everyone's houses and such. You're in your office, I'm assuming, right now with all those helmets behind you. Are those all yours? Those look like other drivers. You do the swaps?
Yeah, so I'll do the little like Vanna White thing here. So the top row, that's one from every year of my career. So the top row is all my stuff, and there's another wall over there. And then I love trading with guys. We got to trade helmets at one point.
Yeah.
I love trading with guys. And so what do we got? So here we've got it's Marco, that's Ryan. We got Rossi, Connor. That's Will Power, Wade Cunningham. That's Scott Dixon, Dario Franchitti. And below them, there's some more, and over there, there's some more. But it's cool, man. I love helmets. It's like, it's the one thing that's like you. Like we don't get to pick the color of the car or what your seat looks like, but the helmet that's yours. And so I love having one of mine from each year and then trading with other guys. I think it's cool. That's
awesome. I love it. I always thought that was so cool. And I've never done any of the trades, but I've always admired all you guys that do it. I know Jimmy Johnson's big in that, and it's just a cool thing.
Yeah.
So, all right. Before I let you go, I have one bone to pick with you though, because you did something that's on my bucket list for life, and you went and drove a V8 supercar at the Bathurst last year.
Yeah.
How cool is that? I just want to know personally just how that was and what those cars were like and the experience.
Okay. So two-part answer. The cars are like so badass, right? But honestly, I think the best thing you could describe it as is take a NASCAR, made it with an IndyCar, and that would be the, redheaded stepchild of that union. And they're so friggin' cool, but they're really, really unique to drive. Like there's a lot of really weird sort of tricks to getting the ultimate lap time out of it. And so we went and tested at this small little track that was like, I don't know, the equivalent of our Sebring short course, which anybody in road racing in North America knows. You just pound around all winter because it's the only place that's open, and it's this tiny little 6-corner track, whatever. And so we started to learn there. We were a bit off the pace, but we kind of got a sense of a couple little things, right? All second-gear corners, whatever. Then you go to Bathurst. This is the second part of the answer. That place is insane. It is probably the coolest racetrack I've ever been to. The top of the mountain is all blind fourth gear corners. tons of elevation with like walls on either side. It drives like a street circuit, fourth gear blind, crazy. And then you go down the mountain, and I don't even want to talk about it. Like it's not even something that people should do at speed. It's insane. And you're in these brand new cars at this track you've never been to. So like Rossi and I are running around like, oh yeah, really hustled at that time. When you look down at the dash, you're like, all right, I'm only 8.5 tenths off through that section. Cool. This is fun. I'm having fun. But man, I can't wait to go back. I'm praying that Michael Andretti does another bonus car with Ryan Walkinshaw and Zach Brown. We got to go do it again because we've done the hard part now. That's what I told Alex. Like Alex left and he was super bummed because we were so crap. But I was like, dude, we've done the hardest part now. Like that first year learning is the hardest. And even guys that come up from the junior category, it's called Super 2. It takes them a couple of years, and they're basically driving supercars around Bathurst, just a slightly slower one. We know nothing about the car or the track. And so everyone was like, you guys did a good job. It's just hard to tell a competitor that 24th was a good job, you know? But I'm like, we've done the hard part. Let's go back. Let's hit the ground running. I'd love to do it again. I highly recommend it.
Love it. That's amazing. I'm so jealous. And we get to go do the same thing in Rallycross now, where we have to balance our fun level versus our competitiveness level. Normally on this show, I'll kick you off, but we haven't been able to figure that out on Zoom without cutting the whole thing off. So I'm just going to say I'll see you in hell. All right?
I can't wait to see you there, friend.
Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.